What's up, everybody? You are very welcome to an extremely special late night agenda here on the eve of the Reds game against Watford in the Premier League. Look, there's massive stories coming out. You know what I want to talk about. There's so much to get through. Just when we thought last night that the Minamino stuff was going to be the big news of the week, nah. They went and trumped that today. Not just once, but twice, ladies and gentlemen. Twice. If you've been living under a rock, don't worry, we've got you covered. We'll sort you out tonight. How the hell is everybody feeling? If you're not absolutely buzzing right now, if you're not flying, if you're not happy with the fucking news that came out today, I give up, but I'm sure you are. I know that you are, ladies and gentlemen. Right, let's start off with the massive news of the day. Yes, this is our Watford preview stream, but there's so much to get through before that, ladies and gentlemen. The massive news of the day is that Jurgen Klopp and his assistants Peter Krawietz and Pep Linders have all agreed fresh terms at Anfield. They have signed contract extensions that keep them at Anfield until 2024. 4.5 more years of Klopp, anybody? I think so, ladies and gentlemen. I think so. What's that I hear you say? Why, Craig, wasn't there some more good news today? You're absolutely right, ladies and gentlemen. There was some more good news today. Jimmy Milner has signed a 2-year contract extension as well. The good news just keeps on coming. We've been speaking about James Milner a lot over the last couple of weeks on the channel. People are wondering whether he will sign a new deal, whether he'll go to Leeds. He spoke about potentially going into coaching. Well, that's been put to bed. James Milner has signed a 2-year contract extension, much like Jurgen Klopp, much like Klopp's backroom team. The good news just keeps on coming, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. If there's one thing that FSG know how to do, it is capitalise on the good feeling around the football club. I'm absolutely buzzing. Jurgen Klopp for 4.5 more years. Yes, please. Pep Linders for 4.5 more years. Yes, please. Peter Krawietz for 4.5 more years. Yes, please. And Jimmy Milner for another couple of seasons after this one. Yes, please, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. What news that is. I'm going to just go over to you guys and see how you're all feeling about it, because I've had all day to settle in. I've had all day to post about it on Twitter and talk about it on social media. And you know what? I still haven't come down from this buzz. When I seen that message come through earlier on, I had to rub my eyes. I had to look back at it just to check. Hang on. Is this real? How did we not know about this? How did nobody know about this? We had heard that. Everything that I'd heard had suggested that if Jurgen Klopp wanted a new deal, the club would give it to him in 2 minutes, but they wanted to be respectful of Jurgen Klopp's wishes and they didn't want to push it on him. Well, something has clearly happened, ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes, that Jurgen Klopp has signed for another couple of years, which means that if he sees through that 4.5 year contract, and I'm sure that he will have been at Liverpool Football Club for a minimum of 9 years. That is brilliant. I couldn't be happier. This is the best news. This is better than the Minamino signing. This is better than any news we could have had. Jurgen Norbert Klopp is going to be at Liverpool Football Club until 2024. I'm going to keep saying it. Sorry, I know you're probably sick of me already, but 2024. Joshua Fernandez says RIP all of Europe till 2024. This year is finishing off with a bang, said Captain Clun. Buzzing as well, said Steve Min. Boya, how are you, mate? I mean, you were talking to me about Madison signing new deals, Sanochu maybe signing new deals, Brendan Rodgers signing new deals with you guys. The good news is coming for us as well. James Brown said, Craig, that's how loved the Scousers are. Mate, I'm over the moon. I'm so happy about this one. What else we got? I'm so happy with this news, said Sarabia. Paul Dunning said, alright, Craig lad, hope you're well. What a time to be a Red. We haven't even played yet and we're boiling piss. Merry Christmas. Yes, on the day where it was reported in a newspaper, this has since been debunked, by the way, by Pep Guardiola, but I'm not sure what's true and what isn't true. But on the day that it came out that Pep Guardiola might have a break clause in his Manchester City contract that would allow him to leave this summer, well, what do? We don't just go with the Minamino news. No, well, that was brilliant news in itself. And in case you've been living under a rock, Liverpool, it looks like, have agreed a fee with Salzburg to sign the guy for £7.25 million, which is the release clause in his contract. Ralph Rangnick's been talking about it. The Salzburg, I think the CEO has been talking about it. It looks like it's a done deal, barring the medical. So that news came in yesterday, and we're all absolutely buzzing about it. But it just keeps getting better, as I said. Jurgen Klopp signed a new deal. The backroom staff signed new deals. James Milner signed new deals. And Steven Gerrard up at Rangers signed a new deal. When is Steven Gerrard's new deal until? Well, you know, I think it's 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Is that a coincidence? I'm a cynical bastard, but I don't know. 2024 for Klopp. 2024 for Stevie G. Do we see something here? Is there something perhaps happening? I'll leave that to you good folks to make your minds up on that one. Lewis said, hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. Thank you for that, Lewis. I think everybody is buzzing at this moment in time. Derek said, Merry Christmas, Craig, and your family. Same to you, mate. Thank you very much. We'll have loads of time to talk about Christmas, mate. Don't worry, you'll be sick of this side of me by Christmas. We've got a game on Saturday against Watford. Tomorrow. I keep forgetting tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow against Watford. Then we've got a game on Tuesday. Then we've got a game on Wednesday. The games are going to come thick and fast. Larry Leach, how are you, sir? A friend from Calgary said, Stevie G up at Rangers till 2024 as well. Coincidence? I'm not a man who believes in coincidences very much, Larry, I have to say, but you know what? That gives Stevie G more time as well. I don't know. It's just too much good news around Liverpool Football Club. Don't worry, I'll get into the Watford score predictions, ladies and gents. I've got my team, my predicted 11. I say predicted 11. This week it's more of a complete fucking guess, if I'm being honest with you. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. Let's spend a little bit longer on the big news that Jurgen Klopp signed a new deal. James Milner signed a new deal. Michael Edwards, is the negotiations go? Said Ramia. He absolutely is. Yeah, Michael Edwards, Mike Gordon, and Jurgen Klopp, the three wise men of Anfield, as I like to call them. I mean, wow. It is just class. FSG Masterclass, said Casper. Yes, it is, mate. It is. They know how to deliver them some good news, don't they? They really, really do. Don't worry, I will get into a full prediction for tomorrow. I just want to gloat about this Klopp news for a few minutes because it is massive. We'd all kind of prepared ourselves for what happens in 2.5 years. We don't have to worry about that now. As Klopp said himself, hopefully this will put people off talking about it for at least 3 more years. Hope Klopp can stay with us until after 2024. Said Ayub, mate, just let him, just let us have this one. Just let us relax with the 2024 news. Sarabi said, I don't think Gerrard will take over in 2024 because Klopp will sign a new deal. Well, do you know what, mate? I hope we're in that position. I hope he does. I mean, Klopp signs a new deal. But if he doesn't, then Stevie G will have, 5.5 years, maybe, experience at that point, 5 years, something like that. That's plenty of managerial experience. Minamino debut against Everton, said Callum. I've no idea, buddy. I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. We're just going to have to wait and see. One, hopefully he passes his medical, which I'm sure that he will. It's great news. I mean, that calibre of footballer for that small amount of money, again, just a masterstroke. Liverpool 17, Watford 0 from Andre. I love it, mate. I love your thinking. Do I think Klopp is the best coach? I suppose there's 2 answers to that question, mate. Is he the best coach in the world? Well, there are some very good fucking coaches out there, aren't there? You've got Pep Guardiola, you've got Jurgen Klopp, you've got Jose Mourinho, whatever you might think of him, the man's a serial winner. You've got Carlo Ancelotti out there. There are some very, very, very good football coaches, but what I will say is, and I've said this from the day he came to the football club, there isn't another manager that I would rather have in charge of this particular football club than Jurgen Norbert Klopp. He is ideal for Liverpool in every sense of the word. So, I guess the answer to the question is, for us, he's the best manager. That's my genuine opinion on it. DZB from Durham, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Ballon d'Or for Edwards, said Captain Clun. Summer said, I watched Klopp doing a breaking news announcement from Melwood about it. Thought I'd been sniffing the toilet duck again. Thank feck everybody else saw it too. Yes, even the way he announced it was brilliant, wasn't it? If you haven't seen the video, go onto the Liverpool Twitter page, go onto the Liverpool website, you'll see it on there. I'm sure you've seen it by now, but yeah, he's I love the way he kept saying we. I love the fact that he kept saying we, because one, he was talking about his backroom staff, of course, but he was talking about the Liverpool, excuse me for the cheesiness of this, but the Liverpool family, which I genuinely believe Klopp has bought into. Craig, will Klopp staying for a few years? It'd be a major pull for signings, said Paul Dunning. Spot on, mate. Absolutely agree with you. And I think he touched on that as much, and he said he wanted the players to know there's stability here as well. What did Ella say? Let me just scroll back up. Ella said Milner will be 34-35 when his contract expires. It is mad to think that James Milner, I think I'm saying this correctly, or I'm remembering this correctly, has he been at the club 4.5 years now, James Milner? If that 4.5 years, if that's the case, has absolutely flown by. Am I watching the Cup on Thursday? The Cup? I'm lost, mate. Tuesday and Wednesday we're playing this week, mate. Tuesday in the Carabao Cup and then Wednesday in the World Club Cup. At 5:30, I believe, for that game on Wednesday. Klopp kind of confirmed Minamino at his press conference today. He said, well, look, yeah, it is pretty much all confirmed, mate, as you said. It's just a matter of him passing the medical. There was other news today, or other news that was starting to break, and I just got one message about it before I came on, so maybe you guys have seen something about it as well. It seems to have been confirmed that Adam Lallana will leave at the end of this season as well. A lot of people said, well, somebody was actually on the money last night, said with the Minamino news that maybe that signals the end for Adam Lallana at Liverpool at the end of the season. I've been somebody who said I would have moved him on last summer. I respect the hell out of the guy. He's a wonderful footballer. He's a wonderful fella. I just think maybe his time at Liverpool was coming to an end, and it seems to be the case. If you guys have seen more about this on social media, please do let me know in the chat, because I just got one message about this before I came on because I was really busy at home. Did you hear Zidane if Real gets Liverpool in the round of 16? I did, mate, and we'll beat Real Madrid over 2 legs if we draw them. I'm very confident of that. The year Sterling went to City, we got Milner, said Ella. So that would be around 14. Yeah, 4.5 years. Where's the time gone? Callum LFC said the news came out of nowhere, like Fabinho. Yes, I actually compared the Minamino news to Fabinho, because when I heard that we were signing Fabinho, I was shocked, but it was one of those signings that nobody had a sniff about, but when it came out, everyone kind of went, oh yeah, I can see that. And Minamino's the very same. When I heard his name being mentioned, that he was going to be signed, I thought, that's brilliant. And then I heard the price, and I thought, that's ridiculous. In a good way. 7.25 million, which is his release clause. He's an attacking midfielder, Sana. Attacking midfielder, can also play wide as well. Ayub said Adam Lallana will go. That seems to be the case, mate. Callum said Lallana versus United. Never rule the forgotten ones. Klopp staying until 2024 might replicate Mr. Paisley's trophy counts and achievements, said Ramaya. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, mate. I apologise if I haven't. Harry Moore said Minamino is a good midfielder. Yes, and I know that the players have been very impressed with him as well, because there's a story in the Echo, that I mentioned this yesterday, that said that the players were excited that Minamino was coming, or the players wanted us to have a look at him, and look like Klopp, Michael Edwards and the recruitment team were 2 steps ahead, as they always are. Owen Jones said, any idea what number Minamino will have? I haven't got a clue, mate. Sorry, I'll be absolutely just lying to you. Yeah, I'll be lying to you if I gave you a number, mate. I'll tell you what number I can give you. 2024. See the little Jurgen Klopp image there? 2024. They're numbers I can give you. What else we got? Jurgen Klopp statue if he wins the league this season, said Liverpool FC for life. Lewis Worthy said Zidane thinks that if you get Liverpool, they'll destroy us. Yeah, look, Zidane's Real Madrid are not the Real Madrid of a few years ago. Real Madrid aren't in a great place right now. I'm very confident if we got them, we'd beat them over 2 legs. But look, let's worry about that on Monday when the draw is made. Between now and then, let's have a little gloat about Jurgen Klopp. We'll go through a preview of the Watford game. We'll again look ahead as the weekend goes on as well to the games on Tuesday and Wednesday. Stephen Booker said we've moved on from Lallana now, unfortunately for him, but we're shopping in different circles. What a fantastic time to be a Liverpool player, said Doug. It really is. A Liverpool player, a Liverpool fan, just anything associated with Liverpool right now, Doug, is absolutely class. Whale reckons maybe number 18 for Minamino. Lallana's number probably, said Liverpool FC for life. Will Minamino start for us, said Angus Court 123. First super chat of the night, mate. Thank you very much. It's impossible to say if anybody starts every week, because there's very few players guaranteed a spot in that Liverpool team. Well, actually, I say very few. You've got Alisson, you've got Van Dijk, you've got Trent, Robbo, and the front 3, and Fabinho when he's fit. So he will get games. That much I'm certain of. I mean, we need somebody to come in and give us a little bit of something extra with regards to attacking from midfield. Chamberlain can do it. Naby Keita is starting to show his worth, and this kid coming in as well. I think he will get enough games, mate. I'd be lying to you if I said I think he's going to start every single game. But then again, as I said, when you play 60, 65 games a season perhaps, you're probably not expecting players to play more than 35, 40 games. So he'll get his fair share. He'll get his fair share of games, and it'll prove to be another masterstroke for that price. Watford was shocking when we played them a couple of weeks back, said Boya. Yeah, but they're after getting the new manager, mate, and maybe they'll have that new manager bounce. I don't know. But we're at home. We should be looking to win this game. I'll get to the start 11 prediction as well. I do have one, Sean. Yes, I have another image, mate. It's hidden behind the Jurgen Klopp image, so I'll get to it in a couple of minutes. Don't worry. James Pearce said Lallana will leave in the summer, not January. Nobody said anything about him leaving in January. On everybody that I've spoken to, including myself on this stream, said the summer. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about January. When I was talking about it, I said he'll be leaving. I don't think I said when, but I meant to say the summer, so I agree with you. Happy to be a Liverpool fan, said Derek. It's fucking great, mate, isn't it? It is great to be a Liverpool fan right now. Amusing Assassin said, is Minamino confirmed by Liverpool? Bar a medical, mate, it's confirmed. I mean, nothing can be confirmed till the medical takes place and until January the 1st. But when you have Ralph Rangnick, who's involved with Red Bull, talking about it, when you've when you've got Salzburg CEO talking about it, Klopp talking about it, James Pearce, Melissa Reddy, Paul Joyce, all the major journalists talking about it. And again, it's another one that we've stolen from United, who are very interested in him. But apparently Liverpool opened negotiations with Salzburg over Minamino back in November, and Liverpool knew about the release clause, whereas I don't think Manchester United did know about the release clause. I think they were happy to pay even more for him, perhaps. John Hamilton said, how many players have we got from other clubs that really want to play for Klopp, and he signs a new contract? Brilliant, John, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant, mate. I think this is the fourth. Is it the fourth player? I think this is the fourth player we've brought in from a Ralph Rangnick tenure. He was speaking about it earlier on. He said we've brought in... Oh, actually, Minamino... Who have we got? We've got Keita. We've got... Keita. We've got Mane. Joe Matip was also at one point under Ralph Rangnick. And now Minamino. So this will be the fourth player that we've brought in that once upon a time was under Ralph Rangnick's command, if that's the right word. KLOPP Council Connor Niblett said, hey Craig, what a time to be a Liverpool fan right now. Champions of Europe, Premier League leaders, and Klopp and Milner signed contract extensions. What a time. Yeah, look, when we're talking about, and I made a point of doing this at the start of the stream, when we're talking about Klopp signing a contract extension, it's important to remember that Peter Kravitz and Pep Linders also signed contract extensions. So the whole backroom team for Klopp is there now till 2024. Will Minamino be cup tied in the Champions League? No, that rule I believe changed a couple of seasons ago, mate, so he is eligible to play in the last 16 of the Champions League, if of course he's included in Liverpool's squad, which I'm sure he will be. What else we got? Minamino won't be cup tied, said Aidan Andrews, again just confirmed that one. Harry Moore reckons it'll be 5-0 to Liverpool against Watford. Again, give me 2 minutes and I'll get straight onto that one, I promise you, onto the Watford preview. It's always been great to be Liverpool fans, said John, 14 miles away. It has, mate, yes, but it's even better now, isn't it? The good news as well keeps coming for us as a channel. We're only about 18 subscribers away from getting to 28,800, ladies and gents. So if you're watching this stream, maybe you're with us for the first time, please do hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we can make that number tick over. It's been a while since a late night agenda has seen us go up 100 subscribers. It usually happens on Watchalong. So look, if you are enjoying the stream and you're with us for the first time, please do hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on and give us a thumbs up. What else we got? Apparently Lovin's out for a while. His muscle injury is worse than previously expected according to KLOPP. I did see that today as well, mate. Yes, we're a little bit threadbare with regards to centre backs, and we've got Sepp Vandenberg and Keanu Hoover as potential options to come in as defensive reinforcements. Joe Gomez will most likely be partnering Virgil van Dijk tomorrow, and you know what? That leads me into the team selection that I've gone with for tomorrow. So bear with me on this one. I'm going to try my best to explain it as I go through it. And keep in mind that I want the players rested and rotated because we've got a busy week coming up. So bear with me as I go through this. So I'm going to change the image now. You ready? 3, 2, 1. There it is. So there's my predicted 11. I don't know why it's blank, why Connor hasn't put a predicted score in. I'll give you my predicted score. My predicted score is going to be 3-0 to Liverpool. I don't know why it's not on the image. Hashtag blame Connor. I mean, it could well be my fault, but you know what? Let's just blame Connor on this one. So look, what I've gone for, and again, keep in mind I've gone for 3-0. Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez, obviously the pairing for centre backs, Andy Robertson at left back. I've brought in James Milner in midfield alongside Gini Wijnaldum and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And then up front is where I've made most of my changes, really. I've gone for Origi, Shaqiri and Mane. Which way they set up, which way they play, I don't know. Origi maybe on the left, Mane through the centre. I don't know. Pick it yourself, whichever way you want it. But that's the 11 that I've had a guess at. Now, it's really difficult to know what way or how much Klopp is going to rotate. I've kept in mind who has and hasn't played a lot recently. And that's what I've gone with. I want to rest Salah. He got his goal against Salzburg during the week, so he should be fairly confident about that. And I just give him a little rest ahead of the World Club Cup coming up next week. So, as I said, Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Gomez, Robertson, then Milner, Wijnaldum and Chamberlain, Origi, Shaqiri and Mane. That's my guess at an 11. I'll leave it over to you to see how you guys feel about it. Milner for Robbo and Lallana in the 6, said Harry Williams. Again, entirely possible, mate. Mavericks gone Milner, VVD, Gomez and Trent, Genie, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Hendo, Mane, Origi and Shaqiri. Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to pick. Yeah, it's very difficult to pick. Brian said, blame Connor for the fantastic new background. Yeah, we've changed it up a little bit, as you guys have probably seen. We've got a bit of a red brick wall, bit of an homage. Anybody who was with us from the start will know that I used to have a brick background. I used to call it the chimney. So this is kind of an homage to that. I asked Connor, could he throw the logos onto a red brick background? And of course, as always, Connor comes up trumps. What have we got? Is it my internet or his stream? I don't know what the question is. What's the problem? Connor said I emailed you the fixed one. Right, let's fix it live on the stream. Here we go. Where is it? You ready? Oh, there we go. No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one, Craig. I haven't got the email, Connor. Let me just delete this. Look, Connor's confused me now live on the stream. This is why you need to fuck off, mate. Right, 1 second. Delete that. Get that one. New OBS. Change that to that. 1 sec. Few clicks of the L button. There we go. It was like there was never anything wrong, wasn't there? As I said, Connor never makes mistakes, and that one clearly shows that I've gone for a 3-0 prediction, so there you go. Sir Happy said, nice background, thank you. Just to shake it up a little bit. Not too much of a change, but freshen it up for the festive season. Hope Curtis Jones gets some minutes. Would love if he scores, said Sam. I've no idea, mate. I want Curtis Jones to play as well. It looks like he might go out on loan in January, along with Ryan Brewster, if rumours are to be believed. Harry Williams said, could we return to the Everton formation 4-2-3-1? With the players we have available to us, mate, that formation we know is definitely possible. I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the 11 is. I struggle, especially during December, to predict the starting 11. It's very easy to just want the strongest one every week, but we know that Klopp wants to rotate to get through this busy period, freshen things up, keep players from picking up injuries. Sounds like Pornhub isn't working for that lad, said Brian Morrissey. Yeah, imagine no Pornhub. God bless him. What have you got? Doug has gone for Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Gomez, Robertson. Then he's gone for Keita, Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Mane, Salah and Firmino. Salah has 5 goals in 3 games against Watford, and Van Dijk scored twice against Watford last season, and he's gone for a 5-0 win to the Reds. I'd be very happy with all of that, Doug, to be honest. I'd be pretty much happy with any 11 that anybody puts out there. Connor, the hashtag thank Connor doesn't work as well, mate. It's blame Connor. It's got a nicer ring to it, doesn't it? Everyone agrees with me, I'm sure, that hashtag blame Connor has a nicer ring to it. I changed Mane for my captain of my fantasy this week in case Klopp rests some of the big three, said John Cable. Yeah, again, with the fantasy teams, it's really, really difficult to predict the 11s. And yeah, between Liverpool and Manchester City, a lot of rotation goes on, so it's very difficult if you've got players from those teams. I like that we can see all 6 stars now. Thank you. Again, I'm saying thank you, but it's completely down to Connor, Jenny. But thank you for the comment. Harvey Elliott want to be a legend at Liverpool. He's a supporter, said amusing assassin. I think he'll be brilliant at our club long term, mate. And he's in no rush. The kid's only 16 years of age, unless he's had a birthday since. So yeah, plenty of time. Plenty of time for Harvey Elliott. Ayub said Milner instead of Robbo. Again, I am sound about that. No problems whatsoever if Klopp wants to rotate in. Yeah, no issues with that at all. I'm just having a guess at the 11 here. It's most likely I'll get it wrong. Do you think Klopp will sign anybody besides Minamino? I don't know, Jessica, is the honest answer. I mean, we've been spoiled in the last 24 hours between Klopp, Minamino, James Milner and the backroom staff. You never know. I mean, I wasn't expecting much to be done in January at all, to be honest with you, so I'm going to stick to my guns and say probably not much, and then maybe something big in the summer when we've got the night kit deal in the bank. They probably want some type of a, what's the word I'm looking for here, marquee signing, maybe, perhaps. Don't kids watch this channel? Yes, and your point being what, Justin? It's not my job to police kids, mate. It's not my job to make this a PC channel. If you've got a problem with it, that ain't my problem, Justin. If anybody watches the channel, it's 10 o'clock at night as well, mate. It's important to remember that. So if you're worried about bad language or me mentioning Pornhub or something, again, it's 10 o'clock at night and this is an adult channel. We've always said that, so I'm not going to apologise for using bad language, mate. David Gray said, let's get 200 likes. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. What's my prediction about the subs? I don't make sub predictions, mate. Sorry. I don't know what you mean about like who's going to be on the bench or who might come on. But either way, yeah, it's not something I generally worry about until about 60 minutes into a game. What else we got? Probably more today than during January. Signings, or I think you mean there, is it, Anley? Think Sancho will go to Chelsea, said Stephen Booker. There has been talk about it. Apparently, he's very good friends with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Chelsea seem to be interested in somebody in that position. They probably have the funds to go and get Jadon Sancho. And if that's where Jadon Sancho ends up, then that's where he ends up. I guess there's no point in us really worrying about stuff that's out of our control. Klopp will have things under control, to be fair. As we've seen, like, look, today, the Minamino thing. Anything that we've thought about, they're probably months and months ahead of us. What have you got? If anybody else having trouble with the Fantasy League app, I haven't used it in a while, David, to be honest. Football Plus, thank you very much for the kind words, mate. Really appreciate it. And also, it's past the watershed, said Donald. Look, regardless, either way, we use bad language on our streams. We have done since day one. On watch-alongs, I always give a shout out at the start to mention about the bad language, but it is not my fucking job to come on here and police kids if they watch or don't watch. Yeah, sorry. And it is past 10 o'clock as well. Thank you, Derek, as well. If we don't win the Champions League or the league, then I agree. Don't know what you're agreeing with. I think Guardiola will leave Manchester City. Sorry, that's what that was about. Again, hopefully, yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm trying to just focus on Liverpool, but I don't know, my head's a bit gone today, if I'm being honest, with all this good news. It's like Christmas. We're seeing some of the fixtures we have in January. It's going to be tough, said Dylan. If we get through this month, mate, and manage to keep up, let's say, an 8-point lead at the top over Leicester, as an example, I see it very hard for anybody to stop us. I mean, we can talk about the fixtures, and you're right, we do have some difficult runs of games, but at the end of the day, everybody plays everybody twice. So if we're going to win the league, we know what we have to do. Amazing that we got around 25 million for Wilson and Minamino for 7. Or we will get around 25 million. I don't know if we'll necessarily sell Wilson this season. I'm still on the fence about Wilson. I've said that for a long time. And the reason I'm on the fence is because he's young and he's still developing. And I don't want to write a player off. My gut instinct would be that he probably won't make it long term at Liverpool. But I will be more than happy to be wrong on that. More than happy. What else we got? Liverpool 6, Watford 1 for Weddy or Weedy. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. Craig, how surprised were you that Klopp extended his contract? Massively, Tylo 28 full. I had resigned myself to Jurgen Klopp leaving in 2.5 years, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans, we probably hoped deep down that something would happen to, maybe make him a bit nostalgic or maybe make him realise how much he loves it here. But he just clearly does love it here, and what great news it is. What a way to go into the weekend. What a boost ahead of the game against Watford. What a boost ahead of the World Club Cup. Rabadan, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said, just got in. What do I think about Stevie G signing a contract extension at Rangers to 2024? What a strange coincidence. Yeah, look, you're not, you, me, a lot of other people in the chat, Rabadan, mate, we're all thinking, is that a coincidence? Or is it maybe semi-future planning? It could well be a coincidence. I mean, I don't know. I'm in a good mood and want to think it isn't a coincidence. I mean, it is the dream long term for Stevie G to come in and take the reins of this football club, but it's also important that he gets the right experience, and he's getting some European experience now at Rangers. He's got them through to the last 32 of the Europa League. He's in a title fight with Celtic in the Scottish Premier League. He just lost the cup final recently, so he's getting some experience. And whatever you think, whether you're Rangers, whether you're Celtic, Aberdeen, Hearts, whatever you are, Rangers is a big football club, and he's managing in front of a big crowd every week, a passionate crowd, and yeah, it's good experience that he's getting up there. And he's working with Gary McAllister as well, who I'm sure he's learning a lot from. And yeah, it's good news just keeps coming. I'm sorry, I can't stop smiling. Inside, I'm just dancing around. Craig, would you rather see Man City win the Champions League or see Everton win a major trophy? It depends what you call them. I don't know, mate. I can't bring myself to want either of those things. Sorry, I know you want an answer, but it's like, no. I can't, mate. It's just, no. Sorry. I don't want either of them to happen. I really don't want either of them to happen. Got worried about Klopp leaving when the manager commented on bad weather and stuff. I said Knut Anley. Brian Morrissey said Miss Marple is probably on ITV4 right now if you're easily offended. Look, this is me being tame, to be fair. Those of you that watch often know that my language can be a lot worse than this. I mean, I haven't even said the C word once on this stream, which for me is a miracle. Stephen Booker said, I need to stop saying so much. Apologies to anyone if that's annoying you, because it would annoy me if I was watching. It's a coincidence. There's no way the clubs would have discussed contract talks with one another, said Stephen Booker. And Steven Gerrard has been muted to be signing that contract at Rangers for a while. So, I don't know. It is a funny coincidence. A nice coincidence. A coincidence that plays into our conspiracy theories. And I do like a good conspiracy theory. The dugout said, I really hope we get Real Madrid in the Champions League draw. And just to confirm to everybody, that Champions League draw takes place on Monday morning at about 11:30 UK time. The night is still young, said Christine Nolan. Not for an old fella like me, it isn't. I mean, it's 10:15 now. Yeah, I mean, I'm as soon as this is finished, I'll be getting me dinner because I keep weird hours. But I'm getting old, Christine. Big shout out as well to domestic butler, to Carl and Julie, who were on their work's Christmas party tonight. So I hope they're all having a good time. Couple of people, a lot of Christmas parties actually this evening. Hi Craig, up Liverpool score, said Kieran Bailey. That's just my guess, mate. I don't want to go out and say we're going to batter them 5-0 because 12:30 kickoffs always make me nervous. I don't know why. A little bit less nervous when we're at home, but 12:30 kickoffs, they always make me nervous. I hate them. I hate them because I have to get out of bed earlier as well, apart from that. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of these 12:30 kickoffs. And we will be starting our watch along at 12 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So again, another reason to make sure you've got those notifications turned on. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We don't schedule our watch alongs. We just go live with them. So again, if you've got your notifications turned on, you should, in theory, get notified when we go live. And hopefully you can come and join us and cheer the Reds on to another 3 points. Fingers crossed. How's my day been? It's been pretty good, you know, Doug. Pretty good. Trying to line up a few tradesmen to do a little bit of work in our kitchen. And the plasterers that we're getting quotes from want Hollywood prices, which is ridiculous for the very little amount of work that needs to be done. But other than that, it's been quite good, thank you, mate. I feel you with the 12:30 kickoffs and all about that. Look, I'm moaning about this, and I have to keep a thought for our friends in America and Canada and stuff, because the likes of Far Island, that's a 7:30 in the morning kickoff for those guys. And if you're in Cali or anything like that, it's a 5:30 kickoff, I believe, in the morning. So as much as my lazy ass is moaning about not liking these 12:30 kickoffs, I can only imagine what our friends across the pond think of the early kickoffs. Sam Thompson said, we scored 3 against Arsenal at 12:30 and Newcastle 3-1 at 12:30, so I don't mind them. Got BT Sport as well, so it's good. Yep, I've got BT Sport ready to go to watch it as well. 4-0 Mane hat-trick because I've had a flutter on it, said Stephen. I hope it comes in for you, mate. I really do. I love seeing people make a few quid. Craig, where do you think that Klopp will play Minamino? Probably behind the front three, or maybe we will see a change in formation. I mean, if, and this is a big if and it's just complete guessing, let's say we went out there and got a Timo Werner or a real out-and-out number 9, then maybe we switch to a 4-2-3-1, and maybe then Minamino plays in behind as part of that 3. I think a lot will depend on the formation, but he's a midfielder that can play wide, attacking midfielder that can play wide. Rabadam said, I wish YouTube notifications would be more stable. They are a little bit hit and miss at times. Yeah, and I feel bad when people don't get them, because I know most people do have them turned on, and sometimes we don't get them. Like if Connor's out and about when I go live, he doesn't get them at times as well. Kaleem said, hi Craig, great show. Is the front 3 next season Mini, Mane, Mo? I can bet you on that one, mate. Genie, Mina, Mane, Mo. Genie, Mina, Mane, Mo. Genie, Mini, Mane, Mo. Try and say that fast, because I'm already fucking it up and I'm only just leaning into it a little bit. Is it a sin not to play Salah against Watford? I want to see his quad-trick. I like that one. Quad-trick Flandy. Well in. Look, this is a complete guess for me. I'm just thinking about the rest of the month and wanting players to get a little bit of a rest. If we go with the big front 3 tomorrow, I'm tickety-boo about that. You won't get any arguments from me. I'm just trying to have a bit of a guess at the 11. All About Nat said, today has been just brilliant. Good news from the morning until Millie signing. Klopp as well. Brilliant news. It's a wonderful day, isn't it? And the good news just keeps coming. I was still buzzing from the transfer news yesterday. And the only downside, I suppose, is the injury to Dejan Lovren looks like it's a little bit more serious than we first thought. No timeline given out by Jurgen Klopp on that one, so I won't even try and hazard a guess. Other than that, the news about Lallana leaving at the end of the season, we of course need to treat that with respect as well, because Adam Lallana has been a good servant for the football club. Why don't you have Hendo in your 11? Rest. Just rest, Sean, that's all. Just want people to get enough rest throughout the month of December. That's it. Nothing. I love Hendo. Everybody knows that. Mate, God forbid if Gomez got injured, what would you do in the coming games? You'd have to play Sepp Vandenberg, or maybe you could drop Hendo in there. You could. Oh God, it wouldn't be great, but Sepp Vandenberg is probably the option. I don't know what the situation is if you'd look to maybe recall Nat Phillips, who's at Stuttgart. I don't know what his situation is there with regards to that loan. Other than that, Keanu Hoover. There are options, young options albeit, but there are options. Is Minamino the first Japanese player to play for Liverpool? I believe so, but I could well be wrong, Doug. I believe he is. Which is great, isn't it? It is great. It is great to get diversity in our squad and that as well. And look, if you're being a pure cynical fucker, which at times you have to be in football, it will help. The Nike deal will help us get into the Asian market a little bit more. Nike have, I said this before, I know it's not Japan, this is China I'm talking about, but Nike have seen a 24 or 25% growth in their sales in China over the past year, so that will help Liverpool, I suppose, to get into that market as well whenever that Nike deal is announced down the line. John Cable said, do you think Milner signing is strategic so he doesn't have to leave for free if Leeds do get promoted? I'm hoping he wants to stay. I don't know. I have no idea if it's strategic or not. I don't think the club would look to fuck Milner over like that, because if he wanted to go to Leeds, he probably wouldn't have signed the deal. It's not like they're protecting a transfer value really with somebody of his age. I think it's just reward for his loyal service and the quality of his work and how fit he is and how well he looks after himself and what a big influence he is around the dressing room. I think it's just what he deserves, to be quite honest. What's the latest on Matip? I don't know. Yeah, you can, is the honest answer. I don't know. I would be looking into January, but I'm guessing. Malcontent said Japanese fans are avid collectors of merch, so it's a win-win situation. Good. I like win-win situations. I also like the thoughts of signing a player of that caliber for such little money. Yes, I like signing that. Players for 7.25 million quid. It's pretty tasty. Pretty fucking tasty. Brian Morrissey said definitely the first. There you go. Definitely the first Japanese player. It's not confirmed yet, so we can't technically say he's the first Japanese player. Japanese fans, we've done that one already. Liverpool versus Dortmund, down. It's like Kieran Bailey. Don't know what you mean by down. I'd love that to come up in the round of 16. That would be the friendly draw that I'd want. So Real Madrid I'd want just out of spite, basically. But if we got Dortmund, that would be lovely over two legs. It'd be nice to have an hour reunion with the yellow wall and Klopp to go back to Dortmund for another game. That would be class. I think we'd beat them as well over two legs. Michael McMahon said, can we all give this a like, please? Yes, please do. If not for us, for the fact that Jurgen Klopp is signing a new contract at the club. Take 2 seconds, give the stream a like. And again, if you haven't subscribed, we're really close to 28,800 now. Please do hit that subscribe button. We've had a good few subscribers actually over the last 24 hours. What do we think of the new background, by the way? Well, I have you here for a second, ladies and gents. I know I mentioned it earlier on, a few of you commented on it, but this is your channel, so we do take feedback, and I want to know if it's something that you like. I think it's a little bit different. Maybe just mix it up for the festive season. Harry Williams said, Milner and Hendo are the definition of loyalty and role models for younger players. Pure professionals. When you're right, Harry. Do you know what I mean? When you're right, pal. A lot of Japanese fans will make the trip to Anfield, said 499 Puck. I've no doubt about it, mate. I have no doubt about it. Most importantly, it's just a good player coming to the football club, though. A really good player who impressed Klopp and the players over the 2 games he played against Salzburg. And they have a very good group of players there. As I said the other night, there was 40 scouts watching young Haaland against us on Tuesday night. We'll beat anybody over 2 legs, said James Warner. Harry Williams said, who are the 5 that disliked? Mate, there are the same group of between 5 and 8 petty little fuckers that dislike every single stream. And I can't imagine being that much of a sap, gobshite, dickhead, arsehole, whatever you want to call it, that would do that every single night. I mean, they must have notifications turned on just to hit the thumbs down button. I'd hate to be that petty, I really would. But either way, it doesn't even make a difference. It literally makes no difference whatsoever. They're just doing it to, I don't know, be assholes. That's alright, you're allowed to be an asshole. The chair looks so comfy, said Doug. It is. It really, really is. I know a lot of people do ask about this chair, and again, it comes from a company called Serendipity Furniture. You can get you see them on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Just search Serendipity Furniture. I'm sure right now John is there readying the link to Serendipity Furniture's social media account, and yeah, they'll look after you. They're the ones that make the chairs. They can make them in any colour that you want. There's embroidery on the chair as well, so I have the liver bird and my surname on the chair, but they can put whatever you want on it. Just contact Paul and Beth and they'll look after you. Dan, how are you, mate? Welcome in. That's so sad. Dislike every video. I find it funny. I honestly find it funny, mate. I love knowing that I wind people up. Do you know that? I really do. Knowing that you're in somebody's head. Like, we often speak here about being in Guardiola's head from a Liverpool perspective. I love knowing that I annoy or people dislike me so much that they go out of their way to dislike every video. That makes me smile. So they're actually making me happy in a weird way. Ryan Walsh, how are you, sir? Welcome in. No, Matip isn't back, Sana, unfortunately. Will you be doing any streams over the Christmas period? Yeah, right through, mate. Boxing Day games, we'll be doing the watch-along for those. Bar Christmas Day and maybe Christmas Eve, we'll be streaming. Yeah, we'll be streaming right through, buddy. Don't you worry about that. We've got you covered. Harry Williams said, Klopp hasn't lost to somebody over 2 legs since he's been at the club, to my knowledge. No, you're right, mate. We got to Europa League final, we got to a Champions League final, and then we got to another Champions League final. So you're spot on, mate. To the best of my knowledge as well, he hasn't lost over 2 legs. How's the family? Brilliant, thank you, mate. All really good. Looking forward to Christmas. House is upside down because there's been work done in the kitchen, but you can't complain, mate. It's all good, thank you. Not even Aguero can save City this time, said Sam Thompson. Aguero's out for this game at the weekend, along with obviously Laporte and a few other players as well. They've had a bad run with injuries, but I'm not giving them any sympathy. They wouldn't give us any. So, as we like to say on the channel, that comes from the great Dave Henry. Fuck him. I've not stopped smiling since the Champions League final, said Doug. Me either. I said this to you guys on a stream not so long ago. I haven't stopped smiling since Jurgen Klopp came to the club. I still pinch myself that Jurgen Klopp is the manager of Liverpool Football Club. How brilliant is it? But how brilliant is it now to know that we're going to have 9 years in total of Klopp by 2024? Maybe a little bit longer. I love it. I'm so grateful. So grateful. FSG, thank you. They had a rocky start. They didn't win some fans over, but you know what? They've shown their true colours over the course of their tenure at the football club. And with the main stand, with the new training ground at Kirby, with Jurgen Klopp, with the signings that they've made, with the improvements that they've made, the new club megastore, so many things, you have to say they've delivered. And we have very good owners of the football club. Yes, there are things they could have done better, absolutely, but they learned on the job. Yeah, you got to give them credit on this one as well. You really, really do. Tom Jones said, Craig, would you agree that Klopp will go down as one of the greatest managers of all time when he retires? He's got a bit to do, yeah. He's got a little bit to do yet. Somebody said, hi Craig, I'm new to the channel. Zahib, I think it is. I'm sorry if I mispronounced. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Great to have you with us. Back to your other question, though, mate. Do I think he'll go down as one of the greats? If he wins a league title and bags a couple more little trophies, yeah, he's got it. Particularly from our perspective. I mean, look, it's an illustrious club that he's at now. Paisley, Shankly, Rafa, Dalglish. I mean, Klopp. You can just keep naming great managers who've won a lot of trophies. And if he brings the league title after 30 years back to Anfield, as well as the Champions League, which is already brought, the Super Cup, the World Club Cup taking place over the next week, still in the Carabao Cup, albeit, you know, we're going to play a weekend side against Villa, the FA Cup as well, coming up against the Bidders. I think he'll stick some more trophies in that cabinet by the time he leaves. And then, yes, If he delivers the league title, he has to be there. He has to be there or thereabouts. How long is Milner's contract? It's another 2 years after this season, Colin, mate. 2 years to go. 2 more years of Milner. Who doesn't want that? Dave Sweeney said, FSG doing a great job listening to the fans. Brian Morrissey said, honestly, lads, who actually thinks Steven Gerrard will be still at Rangers in 2024? I don't, Brian. I don't, because it's unusual for managers to be in any job for 5.5 years in this day and age. So for him to be there, or is it 5 years, whatever it'll be by the time he's there, I don't think so either. I think either it'll have gone well and he gets poached somewhere else, or, you know, it doesn't work out and they move him on. But either way, I think you're right. I think it's unlikely. What's my favourite Liverpool moment? Do you know what? It was Istanbul, obviously, David Gray. It was Istanbul, mate, without a shadow of a doubt, until last season. I have to say. Now, bear with me on this one, because I know a lot of people say, shut up, you bald idiot. Istanbul is the greatest moment ever. I get you. But there's something special for me about the Barcelona second leg last season, for a couple of reasons. It was probably the most emotional, enjoyable night I've had on the channel, because I got to share it with all you wonderful people, which was amazing. We went into that game against the greatest player of my generation, against 2 former Liverpool players in Luis Suarez and Felipe Coutinho. We had no Firmino, no Mohamed Salah. Andy Robertson went off after the first half after a snidey little tackle by Suarez. We were 3-0 down after a first leg that we never deserved to lose 3-0. And yet we did it. We somehow defied the odds at Anfield and put Lionel Messi, Felipe Coutinho, Suarez, Rakitic and the rest of that team to the sword with a weakened 11. And did it with style, did it with class, did it the right way, didn't cheat our way there, didn't roll around on the ground. We did it, I say we, like I played some fucking part in it, but as a club we did it the right way, and that moment will take some beating for me. That was the final. Without being disrespectful to Spurs, I was always confident we'd beat Spurs. But that Barcelona game last season, we still get comments on a weekly basis, maybe even a few times a week, on the reaction to the goals of that night. Some people just want to relive it and just go back and look at celebrations and remember how they felt. I mean, watching the goals, clearly the clips will be better, but I appreciate that people still go back and have a look at the reactions on the channel. It's definitely probably my favourite moment. That, Stevie G's goal against Olympiacos, although at the time you didn't know how important it was going to be. You knew it was important because it was putting us through, but you didn't know quite how far we were going to go that year. But as a football club, we've been blessed to have some amazing, amazing moments. Out came the moobs, said Cape Town Muslim. Yes, like, there was that too. The moobs did come out, unfortunately for you guys. Has Minamino signed and coming in January? It hasn't been confirmed as a signing, mate, because he still has a medical to go through. But the fee has been agreed. There's been, both sides have come out on this one and basically said, yeah, it's happening. It's just a matter of the medical being passed, and then all gone well, he'll be a Liverpool player on the 1st of January. Maybe the 2nd, we'll have to wait and see, but start of January. Red LFC said, I think it's going to be 6-0. Why not? Why not? It is Christmas after all. Corner taken quickly. Origi. God bless Trent. God bless Trent, that ball boy. The quick thinking and Divock Origi for being switched on as well. I love Rangers and Liverpool. We're the people. Will never walk alone, said Thomas Jones. Istanbul will never be topped as a final, but that Barca game, we were the underdogs against Messi and we pulled off the impossible. That's the belief the players, the fans have at this football club. It was amazing, Harry, wasn't it? Absolutely amazing. Just even thinking about it now, unbelievable, unbelievable. After the low, and let's not forget, we had the low as well of Company scoring that goal, that worldie against Leicester. So we had that to contend with, and then we went and did what we did. Unbelievable. And we don't use oil money, said Joe Tony. Fact. David Newell said, we got to remember we played AC Milan, who had a team of superstars just like Barcelona. Mate, I was at the final. I remember it. It was amazing. I don't know why, just the Barcelona thing for me, because the year we won in Istanbul, it almost felt like our name was meant to be on that trophy. And what you've said is absolutely spot on, and I've argued this on 888 videos that I've done about it being much better than the Manchester United 99 final, which it was, by the way. But as you said, look at the team that we were up against. It was ridiculous. The players in that AC Milan side, managed by Carlo Ancelotti at the time, oh, it was unbelievable. And to go 3-0 down, and to go 1-0 down even as quickly as we did, it was class. And again, it's like trying to pick one of your kids. It's a very difficult conversation, but how great is it that we came out on the right side of both? That's amazing. Cape Town Muslim said the Barca game gave our boys the swagger and confidence, and you've seen it ever since, which is a really good point, that, mate. Brian Morrissey said, we didn't defy the odds, we took control of our destiny, wrote our own future, put in place the mental foundations that are going to drive this team onto multiple titles. Mentality monsters. I love it. I love it. I love all your comments tonight. You're all on the money. Brian, another belter from you, mate. How many trophies do you think Klopp will win in Liverpool? Right, so we're saying what? What's he got now? We're going with 2. We're giving them the Super Cup and the Champions League. Premier League. I think, let's say 7 or 8 by the time he leaves. Is that realistic? Or am I being a bit optimistic? Or am I being pessimistic? I don't know. It's impossible to say. It's all guesswork, but I think by the end of this season, we could have 4 by the end of this season if we win the Premier League and we go on and win the World Club Cup. Eclipse Fusion said Klopp will turn Minamino into a world-class talent. He's well on his way already. We've got to give credit to Salzburg for their education of the player and their development of the player when they took him in. I think it was 2015. They brought him in from Japan for around 1 million, and they've developed him magnificently. They've developed that whole squad magnificently, to be fair to them. Trent plus Origi equals magic, said Sana. Liverpool Kid said, for me, we'd go full strength. Ali, Trent, Gomez, VVD, Robbo, Gini, Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Salah, Bobby, Mane, rest players of the Club World Cup. That isn't going full strength, though. You haven't got Jordan Henderson in there. I suppose that's open to interpretation of what we see as full strength, really, isn't it? I've no problem, mate. Whatever team Klopp goes with, I'm happy about. It's just the 3 points for me, Liverpool Kid, is the only important thing. I don't really want to... I think we'll probably put out somewhat of a weakened team in the semi-final of the Club World Cup. Have the big guys on the bench just in case, but I want to win that trophy because we've never won it before, and I want that sexy ass gold badge. Michael McMahon, how are you, sir? Said I think the Barca comeback was better because the haters couldn't say it was lucky, and they couldn't say it was penalties either. So they couldn't say that it was done through the lottery of penalties. They had to just suck it up because it was 4-0. 4-0. Like, we couldn't even concede 1 goal that night. We've conceded 1, we were fucked. But we went out there and we did it. And it was amazing. I'm still taking credit for some of this somehow. Greatest Liverpool goal. That's a really good question, Football Genix 77. I'll put that to the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, Football Genix has asked, what was your favourite Liverpool goal? Or your greatest Liverpool goal? I was lucky enough to see Suarez score the 4 against Norwich. And there was a couple of belters in that one. And by lucky, I was at the game, sorry. So yeah, I was lucky there. But God, Xabi Alonso as well against Luton, that was ridiculous. Stevie G against Olympiacos. Mo Salah against Spurs in that 2-2 draw. That was a wonderful goal as well. There's probably 10 you can pick from. Actually, there's a bit more good news I forgot about. So Sadio Mane was named Footballer of the Month for November, and Jurgen Klopp was named Manager of the Month for November. I almost forgot about that. With all the good news that we're talking about tonight, I almost forgot to mention that. Yes, Klopp won Manager of the Month for November, and Sadio Mane won Player of the Month for November, and massive congratulations to them both. Thoroughly well deserved as well. Gerrard versus West Ham, the second, said Tom Jones, FA Cup final. Great shout that, mate. His legs were knackered. He said he couldn't run any further, so he just had a pop, and we know what happened. The rest is history. Colin Douglas said Coutinho scored a few screamers. He did. Great goal against United in the Europa League as well at Old Trafford. To beat De Gea like that at his near post was sensational. Origi versus Everton, 90th minute, said LFC. Little T-Rex arms couldn't do a damn thing about it. Alonso scored the best goal for LFC in my mind, said Tommy Harper. Are we talking about the same one, mate? The one against Luton in the FA Cup? Where Gerrard was saying, don't shoot, don't. Oh. Well done, yeah, well done. Gerrard versus West Ham, the FA Cup final. Another shout for that one for Sam. Craig, do you know why Alisson always has red cheeks? I believe he has a skin condition, I believe. I think he has, like, I don't want to say dermatitis or something, but I think Ibrahim, I believe he has a skin condition. I don't know if it is dermatitis, but I think that's the right answer. Did you see Klopp signed a contract till 2024? So did Gerrard. Oh yes, mate. We spoke about it a little bit early on in the stream. Liverpool kid. Is it a coincidence? I don't know, buddy. I'll leave that to you to decide. But Klopp signing is good enough for me. I mean, wow, 4.5 more years of Kloppo. We're spoiled. Stephen Booker said McManaman versus Celtic. I can't say off the top of my head, Stephen. I just can't remember that goal, mate. Salah's against Celtic, said Sam Thompson. That was a belter. Another one you're talking about. There's been so many worldies. You've been really fortunate. Garcia's ghost goal, said Michael McMahon. I was in Canada when that game was going on. We were over there because it was my daughter turned 1 that year, and she was the first great grandchild born on my wife's side of the family. A lot of my wife's aunts and uncles emigrated over to Canada, so we went over to visit them, and I was over there for the second leg. That was nerve wracking. Good Johnson right at the end, right across the face of goal as well. I'll never know how that didn't go in. Larry Leeds said, agree with many on the Barca game. To add, we won in regulation time and kept a clean sheet against the best player in history. Yes, that's the thing. It wasn't a penalty shootout around Larry. We did it. We did it with 4 goals and none conceded that night. Garcia versus Juventus, said the dugout. That was a belter. Sammy's finish as well that night is often forgotten about. That was a very difficult finish from Sammy Hyypiä that night as well. Collymore versus Newcastle is a really good shout as well from Tom Boland. John Cable said Klopp will probably have so many Manager of the Month trophies he'll be sending them to Pep for Christmas and birthday presents. With all due respect to Pep, and we got to give Pep credit, he's a wonderful manager as well, and I'm sure he's got more than his fair share. And look, I often banter about Pep and Manchester City, and I don't like Manchester City very much, to be quite frank, but I have respect for Guardiola as a manager. I really do. I mean, he can be a little bit petulant at times, I suppose, maybe a little bit of a sore loser, but nobody can deny that the man sets his teams up to play wonderful football. The rush goal against United is always fun to watch. The late Newcastle winner from Collymore, said Tom Jones. Blue said Torres in the 4-1 win over United. That was a good goal as well. Let's sign Haaland in January, said Joel Morris. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Joel. Really appreciate that. As I said, mate, the other night there was 40 scouts, I believe, watching him play against us in the Champions League. It wasn't his best night. You got a little bit frustrated. You probably seen him kicking the water bottle before he was substituted in the second half. The kid looks a tremendous talent. There's no doubt about it. I've yet to see something that genuinely shows that we're interested in him. I mean, the channels of communication are obviously good between ourselves and Salzburg. I'd seen that he had visited RB Leipzig's ground and training ground, and I'd seen that he had visited Borussia Dortmund as well, if media reported to be believed. So what that means, I don't know. But he does look like a wonderful footballer, Joel. He really does. And again, thank you for the super chat, my friend. David Gray said Gerrard's goal against Middlesbrough in 2005 was a belter. Emre Can's bicycle kick against Watford for Gunjit. And yes, mate, and that was set up by Lucas Leiva. And I love to remind everybody of that when we talk about Emre Can's bicycle against Watford, because I'm a big Lucas Leiva fan. Tommy Harper said, Craig, prediction for Liverpool versus Leicester on Boxing Day. His is 2-2. I'd take 2-2 now if it was on offer, Tommy, I have to say, because Manchester City play Leicester a few days before that as well. So if Manchester City take points off them and then we go there and let's say draw, I think it would put us in a very good position. So I'd take that 2-2, Tommy, if it was on offer right now. The dugout said Gerrard scored some absolute screamers. He really did, mate. So many. Grant Shea said, Craig, your thoughts on signing a backup fullback, or can Keanu Hoover and Williams fill in when needed? I think the second part, Grant, I think what you said there is spot on. We also have at Lewis as well, Larouci. There are options there coming through, and there's probably young fullbacks that I haven't even got a clue about. So yeah, I think youth should be given a chance where possible. They haven't really let us down when we've given them a chance. I'm really excited to see how Curtis Jones' career progresses, how Ryan Brewster's career progresses, how Harvey Elliott's career progresses. And I gotta say, it's very hard for a keeper to break through, but I do rate Creevy and Kelleher quite highly as well. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased in that being Irish. My favourite Liverpool goal will always be Gerrard against Olympiacos, said David. What a goal that was, mate. What a goal. Unbelievable. Who let the ox out said, take them all, Real Madrid first, maybe then get a talent to sign as well. Smart scouts judging Haaland against the world's best defender. Poor Haaland, said Tom Boland. He didn't have his greatest game that night, but yeah, right from the first, I think it was in the first minute, he had a foot race where he had a head start on Van Dijk, and Van Dijk still got back at him and cleared the danger, because that's what the world's best defender does. Who's the better keeper, Reina or Alisson? I actually had this conversation on the Coppish podcast with Drifty and the guys there a while back, and it's so hard to say. We've only had a year and a bit of Alisson, so we've been blessed to have him. But peak Pepe Reina, we can't underrate how good he was. He was breaking clean sheet records. He almost invented the distribution of a goalkeeper in the levels that he was able to do it. And I'll always remember the best of Pepe Reina. He wasn't quite as good at the end of his Liverpool career, but in his pomp, it's a very difficult call for me between the two of them, because you're talking about two wonderful, wonderful goalkeepers. I mean, really, really top level keepers who we've been blessed to have at the football club. It's a tough one. It really is. In 2 or 3 years' time, this decision could be maybe infinitely easier. Alisson could have gone on to break a shit ton more records and keep a load more clean sheets and have so many memorable moments, but we wouldn't have won the Champions League last year without a save against Napoli. That much we can say for certain. Dave Sweeney said, best goal is Gerrard in the 3-3 against West Ham, the FA Cup final. Hendo's really upped his game lately, said David Gray. He has. He's been leading by example. He's been working his ass off. He's been tracking back magnificently. He's been just slotting into wherever he needs to play. And again, I think Hendo his versatility can almost count against them at times. Arlo McKenna said, Ian Rush against Manchester United in the 92-93 season. Loved every bit of it. I think you're the second show for that one, Arlo, mate. I think somebody mentioned it a little bit earlier on. Naeem said, I think Alisson was very underrated on the night of the 4-0 against Barcelona. They had around the same chances, but Alisson was superb. You're spot on, mate. He made some really good saves that night. Came out and smothered the couple as well. Was commanding of his area. I agree with you. Absolutely spot on. Napoli save was fire, said Sana. It was amazing. Amazing save. What was his Hendo goal versus Chu? I don't know. Chelsea, I think you meant to say maybe. People underrate Coutinho's goal against Dortmund, the cheeky one with 2 Milner wrapped into the far corner, said Sam Thompson. Harry Williams said, says it all when we put 4 past Alisson and Klopp buys him and turns him into one of, if not the world's best. Yes, but he had a wonderful season at Roma, to be fair. Scotty's favourite goal is Hendo's free kick against Chelsea. Gunjeet said Oxlade-Chamberlain's goal against City in the Champions League was also amazing. It was a great goal. So many, as I said, we've been blessed to see so many. Blue said Ronnie Rosenthal's miss. Oh, if any younger people are watching and they don't know what Blue was talking about, just have a Google of Ronnie Rosenthal Liverpool miss. I think it was against Aston Villa. Now my memory's shocking. I could be completely wrong on that one, but it was an awful miss. It really was. Ibrahim said, who do you think is the best looking Liverpool player in the squad? So we've got some good looking fellas in our squad. God. Genie. I would have to say Genie when you all them, mate. Obviously I can only speak from my perspective and not from a lady's perspective, but Genie is a dapper son of a bitch. Van Dijk is a dapper son of a bitch. Alisson is a dapper son of a bitch. I would go with Genie or Van Dijk probably. But I don't know, maybe some ladies are in the chat can answer that one. Tommy said, remember Lallana versus Norwich goal? I can't remember that one. My mind's shocking, as people know. Virgil said Bernadette. Gunjeet said Lallana. Gerrard's header versus Milan started the comeback. That was a really, really good and underrated goal, Tom. You're right. I mean, the direction and the power that he generated as well. Dida just stood there and watched it go in. Sam said, how did he miss that? The Rosenthal was awful. It really was. Bobby, because of those teeth, said Harry Williams. Lovren versus Dortmund. What a goal. Leapt like, I keep saying, a salmon from the River Boyne to score that header against Dortmund. What a night that was. And then the knee slide afterwards. XD Little Bear said, I can't believe Jurgen signed a new contract. I'm over the moon. You're not on your own, my friend. We're all absolutely buzzing. As a girl, Van Dijk, said Oksana. Oh, the comment was deleted. Maybe she's changed her mind. Why is there so much hate for Gomez? I haven't seen it. Ibrahim, mate, I haven't seen the hate. Maybe I'm just lucky on social media that I'm following accounts that don't belittle our players. I don't know, but I genuinely haven't seen it. Daniel Agger said Jenny. I mean, he's not here at the minute, Jenny, but I can absolutely see where you're coming from. Sturridge Screamer against Chelsea said Doug. Stig Inge Bjornaby, best looking ever to wear a Liverpool shirt. He absolutely is not. That has to be a joke, Dave, but I'm sure it is. Is Michael Owen still a legend? Not for me. I can't stand the guy. I won't deny how good he was at Liverpool Football Club, but not for me. Again, that's just my own humble opinion on Michael Owen. Who's the better passer, Gerrard, Alonso, or Trent? Alonso, maybe. I mean, you could pick clips of all of them. Some of Gerrard's passing in that 13-14 season was ridiculous. I would say Alonso, but God, that's a difficult one. My wife and daughter love Alison, said Cape Town Muslim. Benjamin said, why do you not think Salah is as clinical as he used to be? I don't know, Benjamin, mate. I haven't got a clue. And I'm really not, I don't mean this to sound rude, but I'm not bothered about who scores the goals, how many goals we score. For me, the only thing that matters is the points on the board and where we are in the Premier League table. And right now, as I'm sure you'll all agree, we're in a magnificent place. XD Little Bear said I think Millie's the best looking. Do I agree? No. He's a wonderful fella, but you know, as I said, Van Dijk for me or Genie. Is Milner a Liverpool legend? He's won the Champions League. Anybody that's won the Champions League has to be up for legendary status. He's here 4.5 years. I still can't believe it's that long. Is he a legend? Oh God, I don't know. What defines a legend? He'd be playing as a legend down the line in the games, I'm sure. Paddy Berger was quality, said Stephen Booker. Prediction versus Watford game. Top right hand corner, my friend. Big, dirty 3-0 win for the Reds for me. What's the best game Liverpool have ever had? We spoke about that earlier on, Tommy, mate. I went with Barcelona last year. The most underrated player ever in the Premier League was Georgie Concladze. He was amazing. Manchester City's best ever player. God, he was... I remember Concladze, yes. He was a very good player. I wouldn't say he's the most underrated ever, but he's a very good player. Is it possible in January? Have I missed the first part of that, buddy? Oh, sorry, you're answering Ben White. My apologies. Is that really man talk? Alisson is the best looker, said Ronnie Moran. Or Moran, sorry. Look, he's a good looking man, what can I say? What a Friday, Craig, said Reactor Sincere. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And look, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I will bid you all good night. I will be here at 12 o'clock tomorrow to start the watch-along of the Watford game. If you haven't subscribed before you head off, please do take a second, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and keep your comments coming if you're watching this on playback or on repeat later on. We're really close. I think we could just about nick this 30k before the month is out, but we'll need your help to get there. So hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and I will chat to you wonderful people tomorrow at 12 o'clock for the Reds game. If you can sleep, get some rest. If you're like me and you're just an excited big child over the KLOPP deal, the Milner deal, the transfer speculation, I probably won't get much sleep if I'm being honest. But look, ladies and gents, I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care of your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds.